So because some people got upset about certain dinosaur-related comments that I made in the last episode, everyone knows dinosaurs aren't real. They're just a lie made up by the atheist liberal media. Chris, sometimes you were literally too stupid to insult. Regardless, to my utter dismay, we're going to be watching something featuring a dinosaur for today's video. But not just anything featuring a dinosaur, no, it's a special PSA that was made in the 1990s. So here's the very little information that I have on this Yello Dino. The character came around the late 80s and early 90s and was meant to be an educational tool for small children. This tape, Tricky People, being meant to teach kids about pedophilia and how to deal with stranger danger. Aside from the Yello Dino Corporation, who created the character, the tape itself was put out by Nest Entertainment, known for some cartoon movies called The Swan Princess, a cartoon movie called The King and I, and a slew of Christian animated movies. Oh ha, very funny, Ariel. So what exactly is this movie? Well, let's find out. This is Yello Dino in Tricky People.
Hi there! Yello Dino here. You're about to see a show for parents and children about tricky people.
Well, that's certainly a way to start a movie, all right. The film wastes no time getting to the point, as we see a little girl named Carmen storm into this man's office, as it seems he has a folder of inappropriate pictures of her. As she says that she will go and tell her parents and the authorities about this, he then threatens her. So the villain of this PSA is rich, in power, and a pedophile. So you're telling me that Yello Dino is going to have to go up against Jeffrey Epstein?
What would you think if these pictures ended up at your school? Wouldn't your friends be surprised at how much you've grown?
But on a more serious note, let this scene set the tone for what we're in for later. Because when this special gets serious, it gets very, very serious.
I think it's time to find another little friend.
Oh, yeah, forget Carmen. You know, I think I know someone who'd be perfect. Yeah, her name is, Lyric.
So this serious pedophile bad guy character in the story has an over-the-top wacky sidekick, played by the same guy playing the title character. Anyway, creepy rich man tries to pick up another little girl named Lyric by distracting her with a dog and some cats, but he soon gets chased off by the girl's mother, who comes back. And this is when Yello Dino is seen for the first time in the story as he pins the pedophile against the wall by the ring of his shirt.
Hey, Charmin! So, what lure are you using on the little kids today, huh? Oh, something subtle like asking them for directions?
And then he just puts him down and lets him walk away.
Ah, tricky people. Everywhere you look, it could be another tricky person.
So now we get to the musical portion of this public service announcement, as they sing of different ways to avoid child predators, including people asking where their lost dog is, people imitating police officers, and people offering money.
What if you see a guy in town who wants his puppy found? What do you do when he asks for help and no one is around? Take 3 steps back, take 3 steps back, that's how you can begin.
Ah, yeah!
Take 3 steps back, take 3 steps back, then run like the wind.
So after that musical interlude, we move on to another musical interlude. Because you see, the main girl, Lyric, she's actually in a band with all of her friends.
Hey, all right! That was rocking!
Oh, that was good. Hey, Mrs. Brown, you are great.
Okay, you cannot tell me that this is not a ripoff of Bible Man now. Yeah, you remember that episode where the kids were putting on a performance in celebration of Bible Man, and then Bible Man went down a story about how he was fighting Dr. Decepto? It's the exact same thing. It's clearly a ripoff of Bible Man, okay? Wake up, sheeple.
Oh, Yello Dino here lets me sit in every once in a while when I get the itch to vocalize.
Yeah.
Hey, watch the tail.
Sorry, dude.
You are sending a lot of really mixed messages right now, Yello Dino. They then launch into another song. It goes on for a while, so we're just going to skip for the sake of time.
Well, adios, muchachos. Ahí con Dios. Tacos and nachos.
Paita gordito, bella grande pito, 4.95, calcio está big gringo, get it with beefo, carne adasito, let me get a piece bro, no man I don't think so.
So now Wendell comes in, and despite singing a song about not engaging with favors by strangers just a couple minutes ago, they are all just so taken by the offers of a potential record deal. Well, I guess that's something that wasn't in Bible Man.
You mean like when you're making cheese and crackers and the cheese melts perfectly on the cracker, you know, and there's no spillage at all, and then it's like so good and you eat like 10 or 12, like 24, like 2 dozen of them, you just eat it.
Okay, is anyone else a little bit creeped out by the fact that they're trying to make what is basically a child trafficker the comedic relief here? I mean, maybe it's just me, but does anyone else feel like it kind of contradicts the more serious tone they're going with for the main villain? I find it just a little bit distracting. Carmen, the girl from the beginning of the video, tries telling the others it would be a bad idea to go with the bad guys, but they just ignore her warnings, leading to Carmen performing a sad piano ballad.
Mother, I couldn't tell you, I had no words to say.
And now we see the creepy adults trying to dress up the kids in revealing outfits, and even though we as an audience know this is all for the sake of recreation, you can't help but just feel incredibly uncomfortable by all of this.
Don't you lie to me. I don't have time to mess around with a little girl who won't do what she's told. Now you sit down. Put your head back there, Lyric. Now!
Can someone please alert Yello Dino to stop this, please?
Where is Lyric?
We left her at Charming's.
Oh, no.
He said he's gonna give her a ride home.
You left her alone with him?
After everything we talked about?
You think after all that time of them singing songs about tricky people, they would know better at this point, right?
You get your hands off her.
Are you okay? Did he?
Carmen,
I'm so sorry.
take Lyric home.
So Yello Dino threatens to beat up the pedophile and soon takes the folder of pictures away from him and shows them to the authorities to have him put away for a very long time. Yeah, that'll show Reginald charming. Everyone chant along with me now. Lock him up! Lock him up! Lock him up!
My body's mine, mine, mine. My body's mine, mine, mine. I can take it to school. I can keep my cool, 'cause you know my body's mine, my body's mine.
And the film finally ends with Reginald Charming getting taken away in handcuffs and Wendell just continues to walk around. Hey, the guy is a child trafficker and he just gets to continue walking the streets? So after a very short movie, just clocking in at 40 minutes, how did it fare up exactly? Well, on one hand, it is incredibly dated and cheesy by today's standards. That is something you could pick up from just simply watching the first few seconds. But at the same time, I feel like there's kind of a respectability that goes into a project like this. I mean, trying to teach children about stranger danger and how to deal with people like this is a very tricky subject. And I think something very special about this was the fact that they didn't just sugarcoat everything. Aside from the Wendell character being the comic relief, they don't get too graphic or extreme with it, but they actually try to treat the subject as serious as possible. Whether or not they did it 100% right is obviously up for debate, but considering some other children's PSAs at the time, it's kind of respectable that they did treat the subject as serious as they did. And again, aside from a couple of questionable moments, they actually do a decent job at tackling the subject. I'm Chris T. Ian, may Jesus be with you, and next time on The Captivating Christian, we're going to be taking a very special look at two very special movies.
Well, let's go get packed up for the concert.